Busch's post-race interview after running into the back of the 52 car. Jason, you want to read it?
So he had a lot of short answers to Jeff Gluck, or the media members that were
Shocker.
around, but then his last quote was, "I'm answering the dumbest effing questions over and over again," and then he just left. Spot on, spot off.
Brett, that's for you.
Man, I'm spot on for how candid he was, but if I'm his sponsor that's paying tens of millions of dollars, that's not a cheap team to run. That's one of the biggest sponsors in the sport. And for him to display this much not give a crap about the championship and about the race and about the effort, that's my phone call, right? The fact that he's upset, I can relate to as a competitor. The fact that he handles some of it that way, I can relate to as a competitor. The fact that he managed the whole interview process the way that he did. Look, Marshawn Lynch was there yesterday, beast mode, and this is how he handled all of his interviews. So maybe he and Kyle had breakfast together or something, but we don't live in that world. We don't live in that space, and given the fact that this is the first race of the playoff and we're all trying to go out there and put our best foot forward and win a championship, he still had a top 10 day. He drove into the back of that car. When I watched that replay, I watch him enter the corner in the same line that car was running. I watch him roll faster than that car and drove right into the back of Garrett Smithley. And TJ and I have a lot of times on this show said those lap cars race stupid. I don't think Garrett Smithley did a thing wrong.
Yeah, I'm spot on for how, how colorful he is with his words, but it's got to be aggravating for reporters and stuff. You can't get it. You're asking the guy a serious question, and you can't get how about a serious answer, maybe with a little bit of, added to it, but he wouldn't even really give them an answer.
Or even just show appreciation for the fact that
these people are trying to do their jobs. Yeah, even though he gave them plenty of content to post with that right there, but you're not getting any real material. You're just getting, okay, this guy's being a jerk right now. But, I'm glad he's very colorful, but he did just drive directly into the back of that guy. And, he said he was told that guy's been he's been running the top, which we do that. You say, okay, we're catching this guy.
That doesn't mean he's going to run at this corner.
He's been running the top. I mean, in my opinion, a lapper in the middle there is almost better than, he was
giving. It almost seemed like he was giving Kyle the better line, knowing that
he still drove straight into the back of him. If we leave here and we're driving down the road and I hit you in the back of your car, it's square in the back of your car, whose fault is it? It's mine.
Yeah.
Well, I know that windshields are clear, so you can see out of them.
Yeah.
So, I know Garrett and them. They were off the pace, but they weren't stopped. They were, and this is a wide racetrack. I mean, it's a really wide racetrack.
It's four lanes.
You can
maybe
run
more
four wide easily.
Yeah.
And I don't think Garrett did anything wrong. He didn't have any abrupt lane changes. That's what I would have had a problem with. If Kyle would have went in there and, he aimed to go a little bit higher and Garrett moved up 2-3 lanes into that path, I would have an issue with that.
Yeah.
You followed him into the corner and you hit him. What's he supposed to do?
If he would have done this and been knocked out of the race, and as soon as he crawled from his car, had this attitude, I would be more acceptance. I would have more acceptance with it. But he did this. He came back to a top 10, still scored a lot of points, had a decent day, had a lot of time to think about it. To get out of the car and have that attitude at that point, man, I don't have a lot of patience for that.
Yeah.
Dale Jarrett, Jimmy Johnson, there's a lot of champions that we could name that certainly would have handled that a lot differently, given the amount of time that he had to get his composure back. If he couldn't get that's been Kyle's problem. He's got more talent in my mind than potentially every single driver out there. But the mental aspect of it, he can't. Jimmy Johnson's tougher than he is.
Garrett Smithley and Joey Gase were talking about what Kyle said to them after the race.
Gase was in the race yesterday.
That's good that you didn't know that, because that means he wasn't in the way.
Yeah, good for him.
So in response to Kyle's comments, Zach Albert tweeted this. Joey Gase said, "Any day if he wants to switch cars, I'd be happy to." And Garrett Smithley said, "He's never been in the position we've been in, so he doesn't know how that goes." That's the way I see it.
Joey Gase doesn't want to switch cars.
No, he'd probably get embarrassed still.
Yeah.
But
they actually should do that now.
I can tell you this: the guy that's going to get in Joey Gase's car is not going to be very happy after one lap.
No.
And
But Kyle Busch would run 8 tenths faster than Joey Gase can run in that car.
he would run faster, but he's not going to be happy.
No, he's not.
You might as well, if you're spotting for him for that race, go ahead and turn your radio off.
Yeah,
It's not going to be pretty.
yeah.
That'd be a great interview after that one.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Kyle, how was your day?
Yeah.
Probably.
Hey, get excited.
Hey, I am excited. We got a new sponsor, OfferPad. They give you an easy way to buy or sell your home. All you got to do is hit offerpad.com.
OfferPad. Move freely.